Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome. We'll wait just about 30 seconds for anyone else who wants to come in. And we're asking everyone to keep their microphones on mute.
Do they hear us?
Yeah. Can everyone hear us okay? Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our fourth U.S. Oman Free Trade Agreement webinar, an introduction to exporting to the U.S. I'm Rebecca Olson, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer here at the Oman American Business Council. So I can see today that we have many new people on the call, and actually on our registration list, and those who might join us soon, there were, I think, 60 who might want to watch it today or later, and many of these companies are brand new. So that, because of that, I'd like to start off and just tell you a bit about our organization and why we're hosting today's session. And then I'll give an overview of the whole program and introduce our speakers. So the OABC has been a vital part of the Oman business community for the past 20 years, with our mission to support bilateral trade between Oman and the US. And we're the official affiliate for the U.S. Chamber of Commerce here in Oman. We work really closely with partners like the U.S. Embassy Muscat and Oman government entities like Invest Oman. We work with OCCI to match companies with opportunities and support trade between our two countries. So OABC is also Oman's largest and most active business networking group. So with more than 170 member companies, we connect the companies to each other and to information about business in Oman. So for example, next week, we're having a big session on Oman's new labor law, where some lawyers will explain to all of us the changes and the regulations, and then we can network with each other at the event. So we host about 30 of these types of events every year. Sometimes there's evening receptions where you can give your business card to other businesses and make new connections. And sometimes we do roundtables and events like this. So one popular question we get is how we can support companies that want to export or do business with the US. And there's a lot of ways we can do that. So I just wanted to clarify at the beginning of this call in case you're new. First, by taking part in the events, you develop relationships with companies that are already doing business with the US, like we'll see today. So you might meet people who are already doing business like logistics and shipping. And so you can start those connections as well if you're really interested in exporting. And then we offer learning events. So ones like this. Today's event is free, and so are the other events in this program, but most of our learning events are just for our paid members. And those members also have the opportunity to meet and hear from government officials from the US. You know, as the AmCham is American Chamber. It's just a shortened American Chamber. We work really closely with the US government, the US Chamber of Commerce, and other trade organizations. And when these people come to Oman, we generally work on programming and events, and they get to meet our members. And if you join us, you get access to those sorts of opportunities. And this is also private sector. So if US companies come and they want to meet people and learn about investment opportunities in Oman, they reach out to us for support, and we can connect you to those companies that are in your sector. I think the best thing to do if you're thinking about maybe wanting more information or joining, you can just sit down with me. I'm based here in Muscat, and tell me all about your company. That way, the team and I can tailor our support and the connections for you depending on what you're looking for, and give you resources that might be able to help you further. So there's a lot out there. And as we'll see in a minute, the US is very big. It's really nice to have a helping hand here on the ground in Oman to support. Now, let's move on and talk about this program that you're currently sitting in today. We kicked off a US-Oman Free Trade Agreement series in April, and you are now at seminar 4 out of 5 of kind of the webinar portion. It's a multifaceted program, and it's been made possible through the incredible support of the U.S. Embassy Muscat. And with their help, we've been able to extend a lot of these resources and future resources to everyone at no cost. Our other partner, in addition to the embassy, is AmCham Jordan. So Jordan has had an FTA even longer than Oman. They've utilized it extremely well. So we asked their AmCham to come here to our AmCham and collaborate and support our members. So as we're promoting the FTA here. Our final webinar session will be next month. Mark your calendars, September 20. And that will lead into our 2-day free, detailed, like technical in-person training that will be on the 10th and 11th of October. The 2-day workshop is only being offered to 20 companies. It's going to provide a deep dive into a lot of the topics that we're doing on the webinars, and it will allow for more industry-specific conversations because it's limited to the 20. So as we all know, as amazing as any speaker is, there is really something special about being in person. So we're going to have the team come and be here with us in person. Finally, included in the workshop is a company site visit and an export readiness audit that will support the 20 companies' success in doing business in the US. So they're coming from Jordan to visit your 20 facilities here in Oman and kind of audit that readiness. And that kind of training and exposure and experience would usually cost, hundreds of dollars. But thanks to our friends at the embassy, all of these resources in this programming is going to be for free. But the thing is, you've got to fill in our survey. So the registration is going to be closing. So if this sounds good to you and you want to take part, I think my colleague Anna is going to put a link into the chat box so that you can register for that. We're also later this year going to release a new FTA guide, and we're going to host a US Oman FTA gala that will recognize the companies that demonstrate best practices when it comes to using the FTA. So we're talking like a Oscars level black tie awards event at the Bustan Palace to honor the companies that are leaders in US Oman trade, and maybe some of the newer companies that are, most improved in the first year, all kinds of award categories. It's going to be a really good time in next year in the first quarter. If you've missed any of the past sessions and you want to watch them, you can see them on our YouTube channel, or you can access them at the FTA page on our website. Okay. The next session on September 20 is on sourcing US made products, and you're not going to want to miss that. Just about done with my long remarks. We should get to it. Before we get started, here's some housekeeping. Please stay on mute unless you have a question, which we're trying to save those mostly for the end. And as you know, this session is being recorded, so we need to make you aware of that, and it will be available within about 2 days on YouTube. And one last push for the survey, please click the link that will be in the box to take part in that. Now, I am going to turn the screen over to AmCham Jordan for today's session. And while they're setting up, I just want to introduce our speaker today, who is a friend and a role model to me as a very experienced AmCham CEO. We are really, really lucky to have Ragad here today and to host her in October here in Oman. So Ms. Ragad Al Khoja is the Chief Executive Officer at the American Chamber of Commerce in Jordan. Her long, diverse career has spanned across various corporate, international, and governmental bodies like the International Federation of the Red Cross, the Jordan Red Crescent Society, Garment Design and Training Services Center in Jordan, and she was the CEO of the Jordan Garment Exporters Association, to name a few. She's consulted for the EU and the UN. In her role leading AmCham Jordan, including the FTA unit of AmCham Jordan, she supports her members and the greater Jordanian business community by providing export readiness assessments, support and training in U.S. trade promotions and missions, while raising awareness and understanding of the Jordan-U.S. FTA. Ragad, we are really happy to be partnering with you and AmCham Jordan to provide these important training sessions to our community. You can take it away.
Thank you, Rebecca, for this lovely introduction. We are very, very excited to be with the Omani companies come October. It's 40 days away, and like you said, we would really encourage companies who have their eye on the US, or on exporting to the US, to actually take initiative and go ahead and sign for these amazing programs that you have worked so hard on getting support from the US Embassy. It's a great opportunity, and it saves them a lot of time, energy, and resources. And we're not just talking about, you know, the money contributions, because US is pretty far away. But having the resources and the joint resources of the AmCham in Oman, the support of the MENA AmCham Council, which is part of how we are connected, and of course the US Embassy and all its resources and your connections in the US and the US Chamber in Washington is fantastic. So please, I encourage everybody to fill in the survey and take great advantage of this great opportunity that is offered. I need to know how much time I have, because I believe that there's also an Omani company that will be joining us in today's session. So if you can give me a time frame of how much time I have. We have a lot of material to cover. But do not fret, because whatever will be missing will be covered in the in-person, two-day in-person training, which will be around 14 hours. So we'll have a lot of topics. We'll go in depth into your questions. There will be a lot of exercises. We will be breaking up in teams. So it's going to be very, very exciting. Anyway, just let me know how much time I have so I know how to pace myself.
You know, I think the whole session we had about an hour and a half. And I think Mr. Cheyenne will probably spend 15 minutes, 10, somewhere in there. So feel free, don't rush your slides too much. This is being recorded. So as long as Cheyenne doesn't need to run, I think the more information you can give us, the better. And if people need to sign off, they can always watch later. So please take your time and don't rush. And Cheyenne, do you have a hard stop at the end of this?
No, I'm okay. Please carry on. I'd love to hear from Raghan.
Perfect. Okay, great. Thanks.
Thank you, Cheyenne. My colleague today in today's presentation. I've actually had the chance to review the wonderful work that you've been doing in Oman, and I salute you. Hats off. And without further ado, we'll start. Okay. So like Rebecca introduced me, and it was a very, very nice introduction. My name is Ragad Al-Khoja, and I'm CEO at AmCham Jordan. And for those of you who want to know more about me, this is a short bio that's also available for you to read at your leisure later on. We'll start by, excuse me. We'll start by just looking at different angles for opportunities for export-led growth. When do we get export-led growth? Basically, there's opportunity when there's a missing or emerging industry that there's an appetite for, and there's a capability for, appetite for in the market that we're approaching. And there's a capability of venturing into for whatever reasons that we will come into, and whatever advantages that we will come into as we go into this presentation. So if there are missing or emerging industries that there's opportunity in, this is fantastic for export-led growth. And also if there is a mature and a competitive industry, and we'll talk about competitiveness in detail as we go into the presentation today. These are two major components that we need to keep in our minds when we are venturing into exports into and identify a market that we would like to enter or increase our opportunity in. We hear the term of a globalized world. So what does a globalized world mean to us in as a business community, as private sector? It means the integration of international trade, investment, and information technology and culture. And this is very, very important because governments are designing policies to have an open market. An open market basically means open economies for both the domestic and international business community, to boost development in poorer countries and raise standards of living for their people, which is what drives global economy in general. So over the past 20 years, as we are an AmCham, and AmCham Jordan, like Rebecca said, is very similar to Oman because we have an FTA. And our slogan is home of US Jordan business. And I believe Oman is also home of Oman US business. So the US government is very keen on developing this concept. And this is why we have FTAs that have been developed. And the US-Oman Free Trade Agreement is a great example of that. My colleague Lana Nimri actually had a session to cover this topic, and you can always go back to the recording and find out more about that. Around 90% of internationally traded goods are subject to measures taken by governments for the protection of human health and environment. This was also covered in previous sessions, but I think it's important to mention them because a lot of you missed out on those sessions. And there are SPS measures and there are TBT measures. So you have with the SPS measures, the human or animal health, from foodborne risks, animal health, from animal or plant carried diseases, animal and plants from pests or diseases. So you have pest residues, food additives, all of those go under the SPS measures. And the TBT measures, you have human disease control, and of course, food safety is another component. Nutritional chains, food packaging and quality, all the labeling and all of that. Also, when you are exporting to a country that will be receiving your goods, there are certain regulations, environmental laws and product standards. So you have two different sets depending on what your product is for. So you have the technical regulations and you have the sanitary and phytosanitary regulations. Some examples of the technical regulations are consumer articles, there's like automobiles, toys, and what goes into that is basically, you know, the kinds of paints you use, for example, in the toys, the lead content, you have the cosmetics, you have the chemicals, the insecticides, the fertilizers, then you have the household electrical appliances and electrical tools. And we gave a lot of examples in previous webinars in detail for this component. Also for the sanitary and phytosanitary, which includes regulations for fresh fruits and vegetables, meat and meat products, dairy products, processed foods. And then we mentioned also the traceability and other components that are related. Some of you may like to do some research on and a question that is always raised. So what do I need to be aware of? Some of our countries have a special body that is dedicated to standards and to metrology. But in the US, because US is such a big country and it's not really centralized, so each state actually has their own regulations, and sometimes these regulations are enforced by the producers themselves. Two good references are the ANSI, and we have also another resource, which is the standards portal. These are both government portals, and you can access them to learn more. There is another website that we, as AmCham, utilize for the preliminary requirements, and that's called Compliance Gate. And it gives you the standards for general standards and compliance requirements for your products. And it's quite interesting because when you fill out the information that you need to give, it actually asks you whether you're exporting to the United States in general or whether you're exporting to California, because California has more stringent requirements. And that's a very interesting website. It's called Compliance Gate. It's not very expensive, and you may want to register for that website and get some information from there directly, which is something that I do encourage.
Well, just one quick thing, sorry to interrupt. Can you make these slides big on presentation mode? My team's just saying maybe for the future recording, it's good if they're really big. Thank you.
Is this better?
I think presentation mode under view. Is it under view? There's like a small, right on the bottom right. It will make the whole screen big. And that little like near the 63%.
So the problem is that I'm seeing a full screen on my screen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. No problem. If we need to keep rolling, it's okay. I think it'll be all right. Thank you.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm shifting our.
No problem.
Okay. So accessing the US markets. I want to point out two things here. We have something that's called market access, and then there's market entry. And these are two things that we will go into detail. But just food for thought, if you have 100% market access, but no market entry, you will not be able to sell anything in the US. And the same applies if it is in reverse. So keep this in mind when you are thinking of accessing the US markets. Of course, you will need a market entry strategy. Rebecca, can you see my picture or can you see the screen?
I can see, so your whole screen with the slides on the left, and it says accessing the US market with a door.
Just to see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the distinction between market access measures and market entry conditions should be fully taken into account and systematically addressed in order to enable your company to export effectively. What does that mean? You have to establish your market strategy, and there are three basic strategies that you have to take into consideration. There's comparative positioning, there's differentiation, and there's segmentation. What do we mean by this? For comparative positioning strategies, they work by placing products right next to other brands to highlight their competitive edge. What does that mean? It's like when you put private label value brands next to a more expensive name brand product to show that there is value in the brand offered at a better price. A good example for this, if you go to Costco's or if you go to Carrefour, and you find the Carrefour brand or Kirkland brand right next to another brand, this shows the comparative price advantage of these white label value brands compared to the other brands that are offered. Differentiations. Sometimes there's uniqueness of a product that can't be duplicated, making it ideal for differential strategy. For example, when you have something that has no chemical additives, something that is 100% natural, something that is usually found in a form that has some kind of meat or animal content, where you have worked on your R&D and you are offering it in a vegan or a vegetarian form. These are good examples in the food sector. In segmentations, helping a product stand out requires focusing on multiple audiences with different needs, but with the same products. In the US, if we take the cosmetics and the hair products, maybe there's a hair product that is more fitting for the ethnic market or for certain groups of people, say like hair products that are fitting or made, and you have invested in your R&D to make it more valuable to African American community. These are all good examples. I have Sulaf with me, and I think Sulaf can help us in addressing the slide situation. Sulaf, can we have only the slide slides showing?
Excellent. Actually, we're still on accessing the US market. So I think when you tried to fix it, it froze the screen. So it's still the door.
Oh, still the door. بدنا
معلق عندهم؟
معلق عندهم. بدنا بس
هلا هو ما رح يورجي بس السلايد عندهم، ورح يورجي عندهم زي هيك يعني بس هلا ما ببين عندهم بس.
So what slide is showing now? Market entry strategy.
Still accessing the US market.
خلينا نعمل stop sharing.
Thanks everyone for your patience. Trying to think of a good joke. Be pretty quick.
Are we back?
We're back. It's still, we can see the slides on the left, and so we need to just go to presentation mode, and then we'll be able to see a big, slide.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see the 3 basic strategies now on your screen?
Now we're seeing the puzzle piece slide that says market entry strategy. So I think you just need to go a few slides forward. I think for flow, we don't mind if it stays in this mode, as long as you can see what slide you're on, we should be okay. This smaller.
It seems to be the problem seems to be from your end, because from our end we're presenting and we can see all the slides.
Okay, good. Let's carry on. If you can see the slides right now, we all see the puzzle piece slide. So if that's the one
would you like to share from your end, Rebecca, and I can just say like next slide?
That'll be fine. Why don't what you can do is keep presenting for the sake of everyone's time, and we'll work on pulling up the slides on our side as you talk.
Okay. So if you go to the next slide, it's the 3 basic strategies that I just talked about. And we also have an important component, which is market entry conditions. This actually means the company's ability to enter foreign markets. These include government measures, growing private sector measures and requirements, consumer trends and values, and other factors that we are calling X factors. So government measures are basically the measures that are taken by government to help market entry conditions, and the FTA is one of those. Growing private sector measures and requirements is how you can support the private sector in compliance and being able to access new markets. And consumers' trends and values are basically the values and trends that are on the side of your export markets. X factors we will go into in the next slides. So the factors to consider, and this is the slide that has all the golden keys. Basically, you have to think of market size, market share, because this will actually have a direct effect on your profits. And the size of the market, you have to think of your production capabilities and fulfilling the requirements on your partner side. When we are talking about the US market, we always like to say that the FTA is for big companies and small companies. You can move, Rebecca. Again, more.
We're going to the slide with the golden keys. Sorry about that, everybody. We in the presentation we'll send out after, you can review all these slides later on.
Okay, so we're on the one with the golden key. So like I said, market size and market share, and I was mentioning that the FTA is for big companies as well as for small companies. So if you think that you are a small company with a niche product and there's appetite for your products in the US, you've done your research, don't be hesitant. Do your research, do your homework, and there might be great opportunity for you. But you might have to look for companies to export to that have the same size and relate better to before you start growing your market in the US. So like most companies have their eye on exporting to Walmart's, or exporting to Costco's or to Sam's Club. This might not be the right partner for you. You need to tone down as a first step and build your capabilities and your production capacity to be able to meet the requirements in the US sites. And that is a better strategy. Growth drivers and trends. A lot of companies we saw during the COVID, there was a lot of need for PPEs. This trend was huge, but it's swindled, and I don't want to say died down, because there are still some products that are very much in demand, but some products such as hand sanitizers are almost, there's no appetite for that. And this is something to take into consideration. Also here, I should mention, like, if I have a cup like this that I'm producing, this cup could be used as a coffee cup in our part of the world. This could be a color that is very, very popular. You might find that you will have to diversify that product. You may have to change that product to fit the demand and what is needed on the other end. So it's not necessarily that the partner you find, the importer you find on the other end will be willing to take your product as is without having to modify it to fit the market need on the other end. So you have to keep an open mind to that as well. Customs, SPS requirements, and labeling, we've gone into that. I urge you to review the recordings of previous sessions, legal status and conditions, including IPR. IPR is very, very important. IP protection, and we'll go into a lot of that when we actually come to Oman. Depending on what the companies that are interested in exporting, the serious companies that are interested in in exporting, and what are actually the sectors. And I will be having with me the head of the FTA unit, Ms. Lana Nimri, and she will give you more information about that. State level rules. Like I mentioned before, different states have different rules. There are also rules at the federal level. There are rules on the state level. And these rules and regulations may differ from one state to the other. And they also differ depending on the product itself, the sophistication of the product. And the requirements also differ very, very largely. Some of them may need prior registration, like the food needs US FDA registration, the national registration, even before thinking of actually exporting it to the US. Shipping and logistics, this is a very, very important factor to take into consideration. And if you are used to using a certain shipping and logistic company, we urge you to look into the options of what shipping and logistic companies have affiliation in the US or have partners in the US. Because it makes the clearance so much more easier for you when you have a company that you are dealing with that is seasoned and can give you advice on those requirements. WTO trade remedies, we have gone into detail about that. And again, I kindly ask you to refer to the recordings of the first webinar. Changes and opportunities under the US-Oman FTA. We will go into that. I'm sure there are a lot of questions when it comes to the garment sector requirements, because there have been a few changes for that component since the initial signing of the Oman FTA. So we're moving to the next slide, which is basically identifying your advantage and your value proposition. When we're talking about advantage, these are very, very important factors that you need to consider. And when you're identifying your advantage, we will be talking about the comparative advantage, and we'll be talking about the competitive advantage. Next slide. So what is competitiveness? Competitiveness, we hear about competitiveness all the time. It could be socio-cultural factors, values, attitudes, and consumer trends. Post-COVID, we're hearing a lot about, consumers in the US focusing a lot on values, cooking at home, wellness, and those components. They are thinking a lot about what's going into the products that they are using. They are more aware. They have a say. So this is all considered as part of the social cultural factors. There's global political economic trends and influences. There's a lot. Climate change is a big issue. Clean energy is a big issue. Biodegradable product is a big issue. Sustainable products is also huge. Environmental standards, SPS, TBT, which I mentioned earlier, social and ethnic standards, brand names and private labeling schemes. This is something that we will be talking about when we actually come to Oman, and we'll be talking about what is the benefit of having to start with a private label and then moving on to promoting your own brand name, the pros and cons, and the investment that you will be putting in to promote your product in this or the other. Company strength and size, this is very important because this will contribute to you finding the right partners. And this also depends on your product and your production capabilities. And of course, what is the needs and the competitiveness of like products in the US, and who the US is currently importing from, and what is your competitive and comparative advantage. So moving on to the next slide. This is the one with the green arrow. And here we will talk about the competitive advantage, which basically means if you have one or more company that are competing within the same markets, one of the firms has a competitive advantage over its rivals in the markets, which allows it to precisely earn a higher, sorry? Okay. This would allow it to earn a higher rate of profits. And we need to know why. And now we have this the slide of the competitive advantage, which shows why the FTA is important in competitiveness. So this slide, basically, it looks like a house or a hut. We have the excise tax right at the bottom. And then we have the sales tax, or the VAT, which is the value-added tax. And then we have the import duty. So the first two, the excise tax and the sales tax, or the value-added tax, depending on what is applicable, is imposed on both locally produced and foreign-produced goods. So if the product is produced in the States, in this case, or if it's imported from, say, Oman, these taxes have to be paid. When we're talking about the import duty tax, okay, or the customs tax, the FTA reduces or eliminates this component altogether. So by default, if you are exporting from a country that has an FTA, like Oman, this is calculated as a competitive advantage by default. These three components are paid by the importer to the customs authority, whether it's in the receiving country or it's in the country where it is made locally. I'm sure we'll get a lot of questions on this, Over and above, you have the CIF, value of the product, and the sale price. The sale price, once you have done your costing and you know at what entry level you are in the value chain, or who you're selling for, which will come in a later stage of the presentation, you'll have a clearer understanding of how this works. But what I need to point out here and what you have to really consider is the third slot, which is the import duty. And this is basically the competitive advantage that you have over any other country that does not have an FTA with the US. So this is your competitive price advantage right there. So the next slide is basically the comparative advantage, where you have country A moving goods to country B, and country B maybe moving goods to country A. So if country A is moving goods in the form of export to country B, it means that there's a comparative advantage for those goods to be manufactured in country A, and country B sees advantage in importing those products rather than manufacturing them at home. Or if they are manufacturing it at home, maybe it's not enough and they need to increase the availability of those products through importing them. At the same time, country B might have a product that they manufacture very well or in abundance, or there's a comparative advantage in producing it, and there's advantage of exporting it to country A. In the next slide, we show what that means. So if we look at the tall dude is tall. So they could be specialized in picking apples. So this is a comparative advantage. The short dudes could be specialized in picking strawberries because it would be way too difficult for them to pick apples, just as much as it is difficult for the tall dude to be picking strawberries. If you reverse that to the slide before, when we were talking about country A and country B, you will see the logic. And this is a very, very simple example, but I think it will make the concept closer for you to understand. You went one slide, need to go, no, keep moving. Okay, we have developing your value proposition. Okay, it's okay. So product positioning, just go to the slide that has like a cross in the middle. Okay, this is the one I was looking for. No, go back. Go back, please. Yes. So developing your value proposition, you need to take in certain factors into consideration. The first factor is market. You need to identify the market. Who are your customers and what is their problem? What is their need? What are the challenges? And why they need your product to be there. The second factor is value experience. And here you need to reflect your values, your company experience, and your company history. The history components may not be valuable in all cases, because in today's world, innovation is moving very, very fast. And we have a lot of products that are changing, like, for example, in the energy sector, in the IT sector, A lot of technology is moving very, very fast, and we have very new incomers to the market. So it's very much sector specific. I just needed to point that out. Number 3 is offerings. So you have to reflect all the benefits of your products and your offers. And this can be reflected even at the level of the SKUs that you are offering. Why are you offering this product at this size? A good example of this is like olives. Olives today are part of the snacks segment in the US, which is funny because in our part of the world, they are not considered as snacks. So this is just a very simple example. Number 4 is benefits. Here you need to describe what makes these benefits valuable and actually point out the benefits of you being a sourcing agent or you being the preferential choice for your partner to do business with you in the US. Number 5 is alternatives and differentiation. You need to identify what makes you differ. Is it price? Is it quality? Is it social values? And we'll go into detail of that in today's presentation as well. Number 6 is proof, and connecting this value to your buyer's challenge, your buyer's problem, or your buyer's needs. And here, when we go to the sell sheets, when we go into the marketing material, we'll also go into the claims, because this is very important, as you need to be able to prove any claim you have on your slogan, your label, your marketing material. It's very, very important. Like, you cannot say something like world's #1, because you need to prove that. But you can say something like one of the best, and that is something that is legit, whereby #1 is not really acceptable unless you have a certain certificate or document to prove that. Next slide is product positioning. You need to identify how you can position your product. Is it expensive or is it cheap? Is it high quality or is it low quality? And all the gray areas in between. This does not mean that you have to have an expensive product to be able to export to the US. And it does not mean you have to have a cheap product for you to be able to be competitive and offer it to a buyer in the US. It doesn't mean that it has to be a high quality product, and it doesn't mean it has to be a low quality product. We don't want to sell low quality products because there are a lot of factors to be considered. We need to present our companies. We need to present them as viable products entering the US market. So if we give an example of expensive versus high quality, the US market has room for any product. We're looking at products that are extremely high end, and we're looking at products that are on the cheap end, because you have a huge appetite in companies such as even dollar stores like Dollar Tree or Dollar Shop or Dollar General. I'm not saying you should look into exporting products that are cheap, that are offered at $1 a piece. But what I'm trying to say is there's room for everybody if you know how to position your product and what are exactly your costing and your price points. Quality. Quality is very important, like we pointed out. And the aspects of product quality basically take into consideration the proper storage, the safety components, reliability, quality of design, and your systems for quality control that you have to prove to your partners or your importers in the US. So quality can define who your competitors are, because basically, you need to move to the next slide, Rebecca. Yeah. Quality can define who the competitors are, and quality can help rebuff most pricing competition, because you need to do some research, and we always encourage you to do some desk research, find out who your competitors are and what is the price that they are selling. And a very, very simple way to do that is go on the website of your the buyers that you're targeting, wholesalers, e-commerce platforms, and that way you can reverse engineer it to see how you can meet and how you can do your costing and fix your profit margins to be able to meet market access and entry requirements. US consumers are increasingly price conscious, seeking greater value for money. Today, we noticed that prices of all consumer goods have increased in the US, and that's why disposable income for families and consumers is becoming more and more important, because people are actually looking for dollar value for what they are buying, and this will reflect on what you are offering. At the same time, quality is increasingly driving consumption decisions. So this means that people are not looking for the cheapest, but they're looking for the right product with the right quality that they are paying their money for. Next slide, please. What does that mean? It means your product will need to stand out as different. And if we look at the red paper plane, this is where we need our product to be. Potential buyers will know your product's value, so they will be looking and choosing your products, and the product's value will be able to justify the price. So if we do our homework, we build our value proposition the right way, we are able to pitch it. We reflect that in all our marketing material, in our value proposition, in our teasers, in our communication. It will make the resistance when we are negotiating price so much easier. Next slide, please. And here we come to telling your story, because telling your story is part of your value proposition. We as people find stories compelling, more so than a dry list of features. This is why we have in red in these slides to add graphics to tell your story and to demonstrate your product benefits and prices. Stories make us interested to know more, to try, and to take part of the experience. Product positioning is a form of market that presents the benefits of your product to a particular target audience. This target audience will differ because you are in the business of exporting. So it could be an importer distributor, it could be an agent, it could be a broker, it could be a wholesaler, or it could be a smaller multiple store chain. It depends on the product that you are promoting and who your target is. It also determines which product benefits are the most appealing through research. And this is why we emphasize doing some desk research. We emphasize reaching out to the AmCham. We emphasize maybe doing or engaging a marketing company in the US to do some research for you, to be able to give you clarity on what benefits are the most appealing for your target audience. Knowing this information helps create effective messaging and designing the drive that leads to being able to establish more solid leads and sales and differentiate the product from the competition. In most cases, when we are exporting to the US, we are basically competing with the world. And to be able to differentiate, and it's not just about, you know, the FTA and the competitive price advantage. There is so much more that we need to drive and to include in our messaging to make it easier in the advocating components when we are trying to establish our profit margin and our prices in the end. When we prove all of this and when we negotiate all of this and we have the right messaging, we have established the right benefits of our products, we have the right story, why they should buy for us, our values, what we bring into the market, our differentiation, it makes it so much easier to actually negotiate the prices and get a better deal when and it makes life just easier for you in the end when you have established all of this. So that we move to the next slide, please. By now, like if you do all of this, you would be able to have a clearer idea of what your export goals are. You would know what your goals are and you know what your expectations are. And here it's very important to manage your expectations, because even if you find a company in the US and this company is interested in engaging with you in buying your products, don't expect it will be X amount of containers right from the beginning. There will be trial orders. There will be a repeat with a bigger order, a multiple repeat of bigger orders, and then you will start the journey as a partnership with your partner in the US, because you have to put yourself in their shoes, especially if you have not established and you cannot prove that you have already exported to the US and you have prior experience. They need to know that you will be delivering what you promised, delivering on time, delivering at the same quality before they invest in. Sometimes they're actually exchanging an existing sourcing agent with you. And maybe the sourcing agent is somebody that they have dealt with for a number of years, but they have challenges, whether they are price, whether they are other challenges, and they need to replace that source with another source, which could be a source from Oman. So these are factors that you need to consider. Next slide, please. And what we need to do is we need to plan, we need to prepare to be able to perform, and to perform at a level that will guarantee us having partners on the other end. And these partners will hopefully be able to increase business over the years or have consistent and sustainable business with their Omani counterparts. Next slide, please. In this slide, we'll be talking about the entry channels. Of course, traditional entry channels mean market entry falls into three broad categories. These are direct exports, indirect exports, and partnerships and alliances. So if you're a producer, you have a product that needs to go to a consumer. If you are in exports, it's very seldom that you as a producer will be dealing with the consumer directly, unless there's a channel for e-commerce. In Tier 1, you as a producer will be dealing with a retailer, and this retailer will be selling to the consumer. Tier 2, you're a producer or a manufacturer, and you'll be dealing with a wholesaler, and the wholesaler will be dealing with a retailer, and the retailer in turn will be selling to the consumer. Tier 3 is a producer or the manufacturer that will be dealing with an agent. The agent will be dealing with the wholesaler will be dealing with the retailer, and the retailer will be dealing in turn with the consumer. Now, the agent could be an importer distributor, a wholesaler, a chain store, a huge retail store, a smaller retail store, a specialty store, or maybe an ethnic retailer. This also depends on the market segment and the products. What we need to emphasize here is do not look at the shelf price and determine your costs accordingly, because each of these components will actually have overheads, and there will be a price perk when going from one to the other, and your profit percentage will depend on where you enter into the value chain, and what is the cost that you will be shouldering versus your partner will be shouldering and taking on, and whether you are promoting your own brand or you are doing a private label. And this is something that we will be going into detail and in depth into when we actually come to Oman and do the in-person workshops, because this is a very, very important factor. We'll even be giving you some pointers on the exact percentages of how it works and how you have to think of engineering your profit margins and your sales price. Next slide, please. So price. Of course, pricing is an essential factor that impacts the decision of most customers. And it's also a very, very important factor that you have to take into consideration, because you don't want to just think of, okay, so I'm exporting to the US. You need to determine your costs, and you need to know your profit margins. Companies with the lowest price products at a reasonable level of quality usually win in many product areas, but that's not a general rule, because you could have high quality products, and these quality products have a huge need, and there's a huge value proposition, and there's plenty of benefits when it comes to choosing your product versus the competitors. But it's something that we have to point out here, because this is what science says. But competitive prices, when we're talking about competitive prices, market research is key. Understanding the competitive landscape, who are the key players and their pricing strategies, is very important, because this plays an integral part when you are offering your prices to your customers. And it's very important to quote prices in US dollars. Please do not confuse your customers, your US partners, with an offer that has the local currency or euros or a combination. Please make sure that your price quotations are clean and everything is unified in US dollar. It's very important that we make their decision easier. You don't want your customer to be like focusing on converting the different components of your price quotation. You want to make it as easy for them to say yes. So the question is, do you have a price list? And if we can move to the next slide, please, which is how to create your price list. It starts with determining your costs. The cost of each of your goods or services should ideally be set to cover all material, overheads, human costs, and factors into the production of that good or services. You have to keep in mind that some costs are fixed, like rents, while some costs are variable, such as shipping or fuel costs. And this is something that puts a lot of companies who depend largely on exports into dire straits when the COVID crisis hit, and shipping prices went up, fuel prices went up. And thankfully now these are going back and being stabilized, although they're not back to what they were, but hopefully they will be. So you have to factor these and include them in your agreements and contracts. We will go into the agreements and contracts when we actually come to Oman. And we cannot emphasize enough how important this is to actually get the advice of a US lawyer to take a look at these agreements and to advise you on the agreements before signing anything. I don't know if AmCham Oman are involved in advising AmCham companies on this, or if there are any legal firms in Oman who can help on this, or if you have to reach out to a legal firm in the States to be able to get this advice. But this is something that is much advisable, because if, God forbid, if anything goes wrong, this is what will be saving you from paying penalties. It will be saving you from unforeseen costs, and it will actually help you a lot. Production costs that you have to factor in include labor, which includes salaries of your workers. That includes social security, health benefits, anything that you are actually paying. It also includes any part-time workers that you will be engaging to be able to conduct the orders that you have that are in your plans to be able to deliver on time and to conduct the orders that you have. The overhead costs, which include rent, utilities, electricity, water, internet, whatnot, debts, any money owed on business loans, capital costs, equipment you may need to carry out these orders, as well as funds to set aside for maintenance and upkeep of machinery, any people you need to bring in for new equipment, any consultants. This should all be considered part of the capital costs when you are determining your costs. And this is something that maybe this and the debts you would have to divide by different orders or different clients that you will be working with. Of course, costs of any materials needed to produce your products for that client or for that order. Next slide, please. This is also related to creating your price list, because you need to know your markets. Before you start setting your price, you have to think of the community in which you have your business. So you should position your business as providing a certain market share. Market positioning is especially important if you have many competitors. And here you need to reflect on the slides that we covered before, and being able to position your products to give you clarity on your pricing strategy. Some of the questions that you have to think about before you decide on prices are, what kind of market position do you want? And what kind of competition will your business have? And how will your customers understand the relationship between quality and price? Because this again is linked with who your target customer is. And are there regional differences that you should factor in? Because even in the US, you have the Midwest, you have the South regions, and you have the East Coast versus the West Coast. And there are differences in pricing when it comes to your clients and who you will be selling to. Next slide. The price list itself. So in the price list, you need to have a document title, you need to have a document date, which will include a validity on this price list. You need to have your company name, you need to have your contact information, you need to have the contact POC name and info. You need to have the product name, or you need to group the products into categories if you have more than one category. You need to have the product reference number, and you need to have the product description. Just a small example, if we are offering the product in multiple colors, does white cost less? Does a certain color cost more? And you need to add a note and explain why that is. The price units, is it in unit? Is it in package? Is it in quantity? This is very important. And here we have like an example. Is it a good example? I can tell you it's a very bad example. And if you take a closer look, it's not in English. The quotation is in euros. There's not much description. And there's no information that the buyer can refer to if they need to contact you. We will be having actual exercises and group exercises when we actually come to Oman to help you develop your price lists. Another thing is your market strategy and developing your market strategy, evaluating your sales marketing material. Everything, and I mean everything, needs to be in English. You need to take a close look at your website. You need to take a very close look at your paper and electronic brochure. You need to develop a teaser brochure, which is 2 pages or less. You need to have your expanded general or product brochure. You have to have your export price lists, and that would include ex-works, FOB, etc. if you have minimum orders. And then you have to have your business cards. These are very, very basic, but from our experience and from my personal experience dealing with US markets, particularly, if you have a website that has information in Arabic and in English, where they're like side to side or one on top of the other, it is very confusing for the American client or the American customer. What we suggest is like, you know, having a drop-down menu where you have your products that offers it in 2 different languages. And then you'd have one that is dedicated to English. Paper and electronic brochures is the same. You cannot have a brochure that's in German because one of your export markets in German. And this is the example we gave earlier. And expect the American buyer to understand, comprehend, and take you seriously. The electronic brochures also need to be translated, and they need to be put in a way where kilograms and grams are converted into pounds and into and ounces. Meters and centimeters need to be converted into inches and feet. So you need to be able to talk and communicate to your American buyer in a language that they understand. And for them to take you seriously, they need to know that you are interested enough to be able to have put in the efforts to want their business. So this is very, very important. Next slide, please. We talked about the business cards, and sometimes we're so eager and there's so much out there that we have too much on our business cards. Now, can we go to business cards, please? Yes, thank you. So here we have an example of a messy and cluttered business card, and we have an example of a clean and professional business card. The business card is, of course, an integral aspect of business etiquettes. People like to give cards, people like to receive cards. And it is a vital tool for sharing contact information. It's a very powerful promotional tool, and it's part of your brand identity. So your logo needs to be there, your name needs to be there, your title needs to be there, your email needs to be there, a telephone number that you need for them to be able to contact you needs to be there. We highly advise your website to be there, but like including everything with your picture and a QR code and, you know, lots of tiny, hard to read fonts is not advisable, because when you actually have your website, all of this information can easily be found there. The website is very, very important. The first thing that an American buyer will do is basically search for your website, enter your website, and determine if your company is the right fit for their business. Next slide, please. The sales sheets. Different markets have different cultures. And again, the American market has its own culture. So before delving into your 100-page electronic brochures or product brochures or carrying them back home during a trade show, we highly advise to have what is called the teaser. And the teaser is basically a 2-pager. It has your story and your pitch. And you can have something there that they can refer to get more information and access to your longer brochure and additional details. But a well thought out sales sheet or brochure is an important marketing tool for introducing your products to potential buyers. It's very important for you to take when you are participating in trade shows in the US. It's fantastic for you to include as an attachment during your intro emails to potential clients. And think of the sales sheet as a polished, concise, and compelling sales pitch. You have a limited time in convincing this potential partner that you are a good sourcing option for them. So with the right information, the sales sheet can be more effective in drumming up interest and pre-orders than costly prototypes, which allows you to work smarter, minimize risk, and free up precious capital. We don't want to invest in, if we're going to a trade show, carrying or shipping, in our case, 200 copies of 150-page thick paper brochure, where we can just take 20 copies of that, or have a QR code and our website linked to our teaser, which we can take 200 or 500 copies of at a much lower price. And also think of the customer, because if they're doing the rounds and they're covering the floor in a trade show, think of all the material that they need to take home. At best, they pick up so much stuff every single day. They go back to their hotel room, discards 80% of it, and only take back what they think is important. And usually the heavy stuff is left in their hotel rooms. But at the same time, you should provide enough information on your sales sheet for a buyer to clearly understand your product, its intended market, and how to contact you for more information. Next slide. The sales sheet needs to have great pictures. A picture is really worth 1,000 words. Seeing what the product looks like, how it functions, how it can be displayed in a retail environment are crucial to make a sale. Even without a prototype, many designers can create today digital renderings that illustrate the product, its packaging, and display for retailers, understanding what the packaging looks like and how the product can be displayed are just as important, if not more so, than the product itself. Because if you're dealing with an agent, a wholesaler, a distributor, an importer, they in turn need to convey this information to the retailer and the consumer. So it's very important. I like this slide because a lot of people are familiar with the Dole natural food pieces. A lot of us include them in the lunch boxes of our children when they go to school. We use them as snacks, and you can see the value proposition. You can see the logo. There's not much information. There's a very nice slogan, but what's missing here is the contact information. It has the best by date. It has the labeling information. It has catching graphics. But again, who do they contact? Make it easier for them to contact you. If there was a name there, if there was a POC there, if the website of the company was readily available at the click, it would be much easier for you, and it would be a more successful sales sheet. Next slide, please. The benefit statements. The benefit statement, we talked about the benefit of your product, and it's in the value proposition. We mentioned it more than one time. And this comes second only to your logo and your product's name. I need to just spend a minute on your company name. And your company name, if it is not very user-friendly for your American buyer, there's nothing wrong in developing a brand name that is specific for the American markets. Because I always say it's important to Americanize your product when you're thinking of exporting to the US. The benefit statement is important to define what your product offers to the marketplace that no other product has. And here we're referring to the competitors as well. You may also include target demographics for your product, which can help a potential buyer decide if your product is a good fit for their stores. So basically, you should answer the question of why should a retailer carry our products? And here it could be a private label, or it could be your own brands. This statement should be as simple and as clear as possible. It could go from one line, a couple of lines, or a very, very short paragraph. Next slide, please. Okay. Call to action, or what the folks in the US refer to as FTA. So you have photos to show what your product looks like. Here we have the hammer. You've defined who that product is for and what differentiates it from others. Now you need a call to action. What do you want the reader to do with this information? So this is another example for a sales sheet. And the most obvious call to action is to contact you for further information or to place an order. I like this one because Here, if you remember the previous slides, which mentions the benefit statement. Here it says it's so easy, a monkey can use it. It's fun, it's short, and then the company name and the logo is very easy. It's called Perfect Nail. And the value proposition is no more bent nails, magnetic head holds the nail in place, easy start, the nail in the perfect spot every time, and no more bruised fingers. Drive perfect nails every time. And here we have the information. And again, there's a catch here. And if you take a closer look, you will see that it has John Smith's email, but the email is at Gmail, which is not very much advised. We advise using a professional email that shows the company, especially that you are exporting. So you have to show that you are a serious company, a sophisticated company, and having a Gmail is not very professional. Again, here, it's missing the websites, and it's important to have that website on the sales sheets. But for more information, it's a very nice way to put the CTA. We do advise that you put it more bluntly, and you say something like to place an order, or to contact us would be a better advice. Next slides. Contact information. I've talked so much about contact information. I don't know if I need to mention more, but when you actually read through this this slide, you will understand why it's very important, especially that you're talking to an exporter. We're talking about companies that are not just a phone call away, and there's the time difference component. So it's important to have the website. The website is very, very important, and it's important to have a professional email. Stay away from Gmail and Hotmail. It does not project a very good impression. Next slide, please. When you are developing marketing materials, say you're going to a trade show, you need to consider keeping your logo on top, and keeping your core message on the top third of your roll-ups, whether it's your company slogan, an image of your product, your website, because this is the level that is matching the view of whoever is going past and is taking notice of this roll-up. And you need to grab their attention as they're walking past. You need to think left to right, because the American consumers are used to reading from left to right, from top to bottom. And this is something that you have to remember when you are filling your banner with information. Please include only relevant information and keep words minimum, because the smaller you go with the fonts, the less you lose in the attention of whoever this is targeted towards. And any information that they're missing can always be provided by your sales team or associated brochures and flyers. It's also important that the QR code and the contact information is at a clear font, a reasonable font size, because many of the people that you're targeting, if they find interest, might just take a screenshot of your flyer, of your banner or roll-up for reference, and you need to make sure that they can access the information there later on. Next slide, please. Images. If you're including images on your roll-up stand, in your brochures, in your teasers, any of your marketing material, they need to be high quality. Please don't pull up any image straight from the website and pop it into your design, as it will be of poor quality. Remember, you're trying to capture people's attention and draw them towards your products, and you're reflecting your company standards, the quality of your products. So you don't want to send misleading messages that you are a fantastic company, but yet again, you're skimping on the images that you're using on your marketing material. Again, when you're choosing marketing material, please consider intellectual property rights. You don't want to be caught up in any lawsuits or infringements when you're dealing with the US markets by using images that you're not allowed to use. So please do keep that in mind. If there are any images that you need to buy, please buy those images and don't use them out of place. Next slide, please. Color. You need color to be your friend when you're designing your roll-up, your stand, your marketing material, your website, everything that we mentioned. And the color needs to tie in well with your existing corporate colors and, of course, your logo. Again, like the business card, we don't want it to be too messy. It should work for you, not against you. All images and text must be clear. Bright colors like red and orange can really grab your attention. Here we have like the pinks and purples and everything. Make sure that it's not just aesthetically pleasing. If we have yellow text on a white background, it will be really hard to read. This is just something that I've mentioned. You need to take a good look at it and take a professional's take on this as well. So it's not just what we like. Let's get our marketing people or marketing consultants on board and listen to what they have to say. Next slide, please. Contact details. Okay, contact details. I mentioned so much about contact details, but I cannot emphasize how important this is. So please, anything you have printed on your website electronically, please make sure that people can actually reach you. They can actually reach a person. They need to know who that person is and how they can reach them, and make it easy for them to identify the contacts easily on your marketing material. Next slides. Okay, so digital platforms and tools. Advanced technology information has created business generation platforms which are less expensive than the face-to-face platforms like trade shows and trade missions, which can be quite expensive. They need considerable investment, especially from countries such as ours. If you're talking about investing in going to a trade show from Oman to the States, you will have to think of other factors such as tickets, hotels, visas, whatnot. It's not as easy as going from Canada to the States. But digital platforms cannot replace traditional platforms to foster business relationships. We've got numerous examples of the digital platforms that are there for you to use. Some of them could be beneficial to your business, some of them not so much, but we thought it would be good to highlight them, and it's up to you to figure out which are more important to you and which are less important to use as tools for direct sales or to use as part of your marketing tools. Next slide. Okay, so understanding the US business culture. As you see, the US, and I mentioned this before, is divided into different regions, and then these regions are broken up into different states. So we have the West Coast, the Midwest, the Northeast, the Southwest, and the Southeast. And then you have the landlocked areas, and then you have the coastal areas. And then you have different locations where you have different trends, when you have different appetites for certain products, where you have different needs. I saw in a correspondence that Heather and Rebecca shared with me that you have some seafood products that are available in Oman, some boating industries that are available in Oman that might have potential for the US markets. These would be coastal areas that are your targets. There are agricultural products that you might have more interest in the Midwest. So basically, this is all dependent on the market segment and your product specification and who your potential clients are. But in general, like the Americans are positive, they're persistent, they're opportunistic, meaning that when they see an opportunity, they're serious about it and they go up on following it. They're mostly informal, they're direct, yes is yes and no is no, and time is money. Why did I mention this? Positivity is positivity. So they would work with you in trying to address challenges and how to overcome these challenges to make the business workable and have a win-win situation. They are persistent, they will send you emails, they will crowd and flood your inbox. And they expect the same. You cannot have a meeting with a potential US buyer or US client and wait a week before answering back. This is not perceived well. It's not like a regional buyer or a local buyer or even a European buyer. The American client, customer, potential client, customer, or buyer would actually want to see follow-up, follow-up, follow-up. And the follow-up can be in the form of, I don't have an immediate answer for you. I will be following up with answers to your questions by end of day Monday. That's totally acceptable, but do answer. Do follow up. Opportunity, if they see opportunity, it's an opportunity that they will follow up with. Mostly informal. Do not be insulted do not be disheartened if you receive an email that says, cannot do meeting, cannot see you next month traveling, with no dear sir, with no any formality, or just an email that starts with hi or hello, and no Mr., no Esquire, no doctor, no titles used, because mostly Americans are informal, and this is the way they do business. If they say yes, that means it's a yes. If they say no, it means abort. And if you don't get a no, it's still considered as a yes. And time is money. Please do not engage in very lengthy emails. People do not read lengthy emails. Keep it to the point, keep it focused, and convey the message as it is and how you want it to be perceived by your potential customer. Next slide, please. Understanding the US business culture, you will be confronted with requests for exclusivity, which can be negotiated. Americans use liars. This is something that I pointed out before. Product liability is something that you have to take into consideration. You have to think of defective products. And defective products is something that you can control more when you have better quality control. But this is something that needs to be thought about and considered before shipping the products. IPRs, trademark, patent, copyright registration, specific registrations in the US. And these often require legal advice and assistance. Do be careful negotiating purchase orders from large companies, because they often include clauses requiring you to buy back unsold products. This is something that I needed to mention so that you are aware of. Next slide, please. Okay, so I've taken up so much time. If you take a look at this funnel that comes in a lot of colors, what we've covered today is basically only the top purple color and some of the orange and some of the apple green. We have not reached the teal, the light orange, or the yellow. So basically, we've covered awareness, interest, consideration, lead generation, and part of the lead nurturing. So it is the tip of the iceberg, but we do hope that it has been an eye-opener for you. You have benefited from some of the information that we have been providing in this series of webinars. Like my colleague Rebecca mentioned, we will be taking a deeper dive into the details and what you need to know more regarding each and every topic that we have covered. And specifically for your companies, once we have clarity on the companies, the 20 companies, the lucky 20 companies that will be taking part in this program. And with that, I thank you for your attention. And with this very, very lengthy presentation. And now we are, I think, ready for Cheyenne. Cheyenne, you've been very patient. Thank you, Rebecca. I hand over to you.
Thank you for that presentation. I kept thinking, oh, maybe we should tell her it's, we've scheduled it until 12:30, but honestly, if people had to go, they can watch later, and this is such helpful information. I wish we had a whole day to talk about. I was thinking as an American, when you were discussing about my people and how we are and how we don't like to waste time, and we like emails right away, even if you can't respond, to say, I'll get to you soon. And I just thought to add in, lately I've been using ChatGPT, and you can say to it, please write this like an American would write it. please make this extra friendly. We're pretty friendly, and nothing to be scared of, but I'm always here as a resource for those who want to try out some thoughts. And anyway, I'm going to get to Cheyenne. I want to give him a nice, good introduction and respect everyone's time. And then I think after Cheyenne's presentation, we'll open it then for Q&A. That's okay with everyone. All right, let me just go to my notes here. Okay, so I'm proud to introduce Mr. Cheyenne Sumar, who's the co-founder and director at Apex Transgulf Manufacturing. Apex is a family-owned company founded in 2015. It's a Food and Drug Agency, FDA registered manufacturer of packaging for the food and beverage and healthcare industries. They produce class 1 and 2 medical devices with exports to the US, Europe, Turkey, and the Middle East. Apex has been highlighted as an Omani success story because they've been here for decades, exporting to the US even before the FTA was in place. And they have a relationship with Fortune 500 US customers in the sophisticated food and healthcare and industry. So Cheyenne's a board member of the OABC. He gives a lot of his time to support our community. He engages in events like today's webinar. He did one yesterday as well. And if you ask Cheyenne to support an initiative that supports business in Oman, he's usually there. He's also a member of YPO and the Entrepreneurs Organization, or EO, here in Oman. He's been a resident for 34 years with his family. And thank you, Cheyenne, for taking the time to share your success story about Apex with us today.
Rebecca, thank you for that awesome introduction, and really nice to be here. Ravad, I don't believe we've met, but that was really very insightful. I thought that I would sort of put this aside for your presentation and kind of do my work, but I was messaging Rebecca on the side, and I was telling her that all of the points that you've mentioned are very much part of our journey, and I'll talk about our journey and how the cultural barriers, the incessant need to update customers, especially US customers. So I was nodding pretty much for the entirety of your presentation. So thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you for acknowledging this. This is
sure.
Warms my heart that I've put folks on for such a lengthy presentation, and I'm thankful that it actually adds value. Thank you, Cheyenne.
Absolutely. So hi to everybody that's on. As Rebecca mentioned, my name is Cheyenne Sumar. I am a co-founder and director of operations at our family company. In short, it's called Apex. It's got a very long name otherwise. We are, as Rebecca mentioned, so we've been in Oman as a family for about 34 years. We've always been exporting to the US. Our first business, which my grandfather started, was in textiles. And Ravad, I know you've done your work for garments, so you probably, and we actually used to work very closely with companies both in Jordan and in Bahrain, again due to the FTA. So for garments, we were actually manufacturing denim jeans and for Levi's and Gap and some really big names out of Oman. And then back then, Oman used to be a country that had a quota system for the US, and so we had a lot of quotas available. And then when that got abolished, we kind of pivoted into sewing threads. And more recently, about 10 years ago, when I joined the business, we started a packaging facility. So we are essentially, and I see a lot of guys from the plastic industry, which is nice to see. We are into blown film manufacturing, but with a specialty in healthcare plastics. We do value-added class 1 and class 2 medical devices that are registered with the FDA. Our products that are made in Oman are used in over 35,000 hospitals, clinics, and care homes across the US. And of course, everything that we produce is shipped duty-free from Oman. My father, who is also the co-founder of the company, was part of the working group that was representing the industrial sector in 2006, before the FTA came into being. Rebecca, are you handling the slides?
Yeah, we have it on our side.
Okay.
You ready to go?
All right, perfect. Yeah, ready to go. Ready to go to the next
Great.
one, and actually the one after that.
Okay.
So who we are. I've mentioned, what we're sort of doing. We've got two divisions. We've got a sewing thread division, and then we've also got a division that produces plastic packaging. The majority of our U.S. exports are actually on the plastic packaging side, and specialty with a specialty on healthcare. We do a lot of products for the operating rooms in hospitals in the U.S. We do a lot of IV bags, specialty bags. We do a lot of sort of biohazard and anything sort of polyethylene based is really our forte. Next slide. So we were in Muscat for about 28 years, and then we decided that we'd move our plant, we'd relocate the plant to Salalah. Why we chose Salalah was because Salalah's got a naturally deep sea port, and again, to Ragha's point, logistics play a very key role in your success or lack thereof of penetrating the U.S. market. And being in Salalah has basically given us the advantage of being able to ship to our customers directly within about 19 days from Salalah to the East Coast, and going up to about 30 or 35 days to the West Coast. And these are pretty good numbers if you compare them to rival ports, especially the ones in Sohar. I think it's about 10 or 12 days longer. Jabal Ali is again at par with Sohar. So Salalah for us, from a logistical point of view, was a no-brainer. It was also rated as the world's second most efficient port. It handled a lot of cargo, and the folks here are, they're really terrific. So for us, being in Salalah was instrumental, or has been instrumental for our success. Aside from the US, we also have, we also export to a list of other countries. And again, Salalah has been ideal for us in that respect. Of course, the FTA, the Free Trade Agreement, has been a huge success, because though, our product isn't as high on the list as we'd like it to be, the saving that our customers get from the FTA isn't huge. But the fact that Oman is one of only 20 countries in the world that has an FTA is an excellent conversation starter, and it piques a lot of people's interests. So that's something that we've found very helpful, and of course it makes trade much easier. So for us to register an entity, our own entity in the US is very easy. And again, by easy, I mean, obviously you need to go through, attorneys and lawyers and all of that, but typically it makes it much easier. Aside from that, having the access to duty-free imports, because we're in the free zone, and we're exporting, pretty much 95% of everything we do is export. So we get to really benefit from the tax holiday. We get to benefit from no VAT on our purchases, which is a big deal. And of course, we have foreign ownership, which I know has been rolled out in other parts of Oman as well. But the free zones were typically the first ones to start that. Rebecca, should we go to the next slide? So I talked about our benefits from the FTA. So look, the US is a very big trading partner for us. 60% of our revenues are from our customers in the US. It's been painstakingly difficult, but because we've been exporting for the last 3 decades to the US. We've obviously built up, relationships. We've got people on the ground. We've got distribution in the US, and all of those things make it easier. The FTA has helped us in 2 parts, especially with regards to the FDA registration. We're one of the few companies in the region that is doing FDA Class 1 and Class 2 medical devices under the FTA. Under the FTA, the registration for the FDA was also slightly easier. But again, this is something that I would strongly suggest that you speak with attorneys for if you are, for example, making products that require environmental approvals. Then again, you would need to speak with attorneys. It's very specific to your product, but we found that having an FTA did assist us in that regard. We do export also to California, and again, the FTA is of course fully in effect there, but the requirements were very different. We have access to a $25 trillion economy, and being one of only 20 countries in the world, that's a huge deal. The other thing that's not on the slides, but with trade, the sort of trade wars between US and China, we've really, especially the countries that are part of the FTA, that have the FTA, really stand to benefit from these sort of trade changes. And no one country is obviously able to take over the role that China has as the world's largest manufacturer. But I believe that Oman and the other countries that are part of the FTA can really play a significant role in doing that. From an Oman standpoint, of course, we are 100% Omani company. We add a lot of value to the local economy. A lot of our raw materials are sourced locally. We have assisted Oman in import substitution. So a lot of these medical devices that we are producing at present were being imported into Oman, and so we've got a direct relationship with the Omani authorities now, where our medical devices are being used here as well. And then aside from that, we provide a lot of in-country value with, of course, with employment and generating valuable foreign exchange for the country. Next slide, please. So Ragad had a lot of tips, and this is just one. I'm not sure if it was there, but the HS code. So obviously product classification. When you've got a product and you're looking to sell that to the US, one of the first things that we still do today is we look at the HS code, and we look at how it's classified. We look at what the duties are from countries aside from Oman, because of course Oman, for the most part, our products are duty free. There are some exceptions to the rules. For example, within textiles now, there's the TPL, which is expired. And then there's, I think, some aluminium, and there are some exceptions, but for the most part, our products are duty free. But please do refer to this. This is, for us personally, this has been a very nice resource, because we look at it even from an R&D perspective. We look at not just products that we're producing right now, but we look at what products we can produce. So we typically look for high duty products on that list, and we look at what of those high duty products, a lot would maybe not be feasible to produce out of Oman, but there might be some, and then we kind of work backwards. So that's been successful for us, and I wanted to share that with the group. So I would strongly suggest that you look into this as well. The other tip that I have is to attend targeted trade shows. So for your industry, there are many trade shows. The US is very big on its conventions. I personally attended the Select USA. I did that last year, and that was a game changer, because it made me realize that each state within the US is really its own country. So each state has its own laws. They've got their own requirements, and they're hungry for your investment. So, you know, when you really go there and under one roof, you get access to all those states, you realize that, you know, there are certain synergies, and you know, perhaps you're unable to tap into a customer while not really having a local footprint. So for us, that was very much the case. We then decided, you know, many years ago, that we want to have a local presence in a certain state, which works for us, and that helps us tap into a lot of our customers. So that's definitely something that you should consider. And then, of course, you know, being an OABC member, we've been a premium member of OABC for the last 6 years. It's added immense value. I mean, we have access to some terrific resources. We have access to the local network because, you know, there are many aspects of business that, of course, you require local support for, even if you are exporting. And so I've made great connections from shipping lines to, you know, marketing agencies, and of course, you know, the local and international resources that OABC brings in. One of my favorite series is doing business with the U.S. Military and U.S. Navy. I think that happens, Rebecca, once every year or so, and it's again a real eye opener. You know, we typically look at private businesses in the United States, and we look to target them. And I think Ragad mentioned Walmart. Everyone, you know, is outside of the US. They just want to go to Walmart, but you know, it may not be for you. And 99.9% of the time, it's not for you because they're huge and they've got, you know, their own ways of doing business. But that doesn't mean that there aren't other companies. There are many other companies, and there's also the government side. And so those webinars are hugely beneficial. They literally handhold you from, you know, registering yourself to understanding where the opportunities are. So I would definitely recommend that you look into that. And then, of course, you know, for us personally, the access that we get as a premium member, as a board member of OABC, the access that I get to the U.S. Embassy. You know, there's a wonderful trade desk at the embassy. And, you know, they have their own tools. And so, you know, highly recommend that you make use of that once you become a member and sort of, you know, attend events and network as much as possible. I think that is actually, oh no, I've got one more slide. There we go. I actually covered this. I've covered this in my last slide.
You did cover it really well. And thank you for the shout out.
No worries. I hope that was helpful. I'm very happy to sort of help. I know I can see a couple of people from the industry, from the plastic industry. So shout out to them. You know, I think that we work together. If we work together, we get further. So, you know, happy to have a chat with anybody really. Yeah, good luck in the journey. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Cheyenne. Look, we're way over time, but we promised a Q&A. And so if Cheyenne, if you have time to stay as well, and Ragad, maybe we say it's going to be like 10 minutes this time, and people can email other questions. You can put them in the chat. You can just turn your mic on. If anyone has any particular questions, let's open that up now. Or maybe everyone needs to run to their next meeting since we're so far over.
Probably.
That's okay. I'm going to give one more pitch for our 2-day training. I posted the link in the chat. Please feel free to share it with other people. And again, this training is not just about exporting to the US. It's everything. It's using the FTA. You might want to source things from the US. You might want to invest in the US. There's all kinds of topics that will be covered. And so one last push for that. And one last thank you to both of our presenters today. Really helpful. Excellent job. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks,
Bye,
all.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Nice day, everyone. Thank you.